We're joined by legal analyst and Donda attorneys MD Melusi Xulu. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Your reaction to the ruling?
Good afternoon, Abong, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. My reaction is, I think it was a correct decision. The delays that were made by the ANC were not being explained properly. And also the interpretation of Section 15, subsection 1 of the Electoral Commission Act were not interpreted correctly by the ANC in terms of saying that the sublimation was made wrongly, and also for them not to reject the application initially in terms of Section 15, subsection 4A on those notices made on the 30th of June, between the 1st and the 30th of June 2023. It showed that they were very late in assessing how they are rejecting this application. So it was a correct decision, and then we'll see tomorrow about the trademark.
Of course, be a contention, especially when it comes to the delay in terms of the time of bringing this particular application before the courts, I suppose.
Yes, there was that contention. I mean, firstly, they did not reject or question the notice from the 1st to the 30th of June 2023. Then also when the decision was made, when the MK has made, or the alteration that was supposed to be made in terms of signature, from the 7th of September, they did not also notice what was happening. So they were also late. I mean, they say it was closed in December. If you heard judges, she said that the holidays were at their peak, where they are consulting the attorneys on the 26th of December, so that they can appeal against the decision on the 24th of November. So how they approached the agency of this matter, it doesn't show that they were serious about it. So they were very late, and they could not be assisted.
And when it comes to the argument around supplementing that particular application by the MK party, and the fact that the ANC says that the MK party should have started this particular process from scratch instead of supplementing, their own application after it was rejected by the IEC, and the IEC saying that there are a number of parties that have done this. In fact, so was this a misreading of the electoral laws by the ANC, or what was it?
Look, it's law and politics. We can't escape the fact that it's got to do with politics than just the law, because as it has been stated, it's not only MK, and unfortunately, I don't want to go much into politics, but it shows that the ANC is being threatened by ANCMK alone. So they only focused on MK when other parties have supplemented, but they did not really focus on that. And what is critical that I must state, coming back to law now, Section 19, subsection 1, paragraph A of the Constitution says every person has the right to start their own political party. That's a constitutional right. Now, if the ANC takes, MK on a not so strong case, they are affecting the rights of people to start their parties and to be part of a party that they can enjoy, so that they can enjoy their democratic rights in choosing the party that they like. So it was not. I think for their brand as a democratic party, they should have really not taken this to court, because it just emphasizes the importance of respecting people's constitutional right when it comes to forming political party, and for them to question that as a revolutionary party is unfortunate.
And I suppose it speaks now to what the court was raising as the issue of jurisdiction. But the ANC says that its case was never against the MK party, but rather the IEC's decision to approve the party's registration after the ruling party became aware of what they are calling the unlawfulness of the process.
Yes, it was not against the MK. I read the letter that the ANC, issued out after the decision or after the judgment. But as the judge said, is that this application has a substantial bearing on Section 19 of the Constitution with right to start a political party, and it has a substantial bearing on MK itself. So yes, they were not really against MK, but it affected the rights of the people who started MK. Hence, they had to be involved, and it was not surprising that they opposed the application.
So what is now left in terms of this particular matter? Is this the end, or are there some legal avenues that the ANC could maneuver?
Look, at this time, I think they will focus on the trademark case, which is going to be an interesting case on its own. But as I've been thinking about it, I wonder how they're going to balance Section 19 that I've just mentioned with the infringement of trademark rights and how the history of MK and so forth. But I read that the ANC has noted the judgment, they respected it, and they've not said anything with regards to appealing. So with that, I don't see them going further. I think what they will do now, they will focus on tomorrow's case and see how it goes, because they are doing everything they can to deal with MK and, try to put MK aside. But unfortunately, from a perception, it might hit back on them. So
listening to what you're saying then about tomorrow's case, I was going to end off with it. So what are the prospects of success?
The prospects of success, you're putting me in a corner, but I think it's going to depend on the registration issue might be touched, because remember, the ANC did a registration of a trademark of MK in September 2023. And they're going to be using the fact that historically they have MK, although it was disbanded in 1991. I'm bound to be corrected if I'm wrong. But there is the thing that MK belongs to them. But remember, it was not only ANC that had MK, it was, I think, SABC. So it's going to be interesting how that history is going to be discussed and the registration thereof. But also, I'm interested in how they're going to say that people are going to be confused if they vote if there's MK in ANC, because that's what trademark is about. Trademark is about the fact that you are using my name as Donda or as Melusi, and people are going to be confused when they come to use our services and so forth. So the critical issue is, are people confused when there's ANC and MK, and how does the registration affect the whole process or the whole discussion that's going to be done tomorrow?